Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. The topic of discussion for this morning is on the object of the sadhana. That is the topic of discussion for this morning. Exactly, I can't say how you all are because this Durga Puja is gone. This, image, all these things, Durga has been cast away. So here nothing to do. We have to accept the past is past. Already we are now in an empty hand. We are awaiting a couple of days right now for maybe just one day in between, 1 or 2 days in between to celebrate your Lakshmi Puja. It is a great moment, momentous moment, opportunist moment. It is a gorgeous moment. So here we are going to have a brief discussion on object of the sadhana. Here in the course, the object of the sadhana is a opening of the consciousness to the divine. Very interesting. Very in one sentence, one half of a sentence, Sri Aurobindo has clarified that the object of the sadhana is opening the consciousness to the divine and change the nature. Two things are there. One, open the consciousness to the divine and change the nature. Then meditation and contemplation, both the things. Meditation and contemplation is one means to this, but only one means. Bhakti is another. So here we can find one is meditation and contemplation, second is bhakti, and the third we can get also work. So different methods. We have seen two things. Sri Aurobindo initially tried to quote one. The object of the sadhana is opening the consciousness to the divine. Second, change the nature. How can we do? There, Sri Aurobindo quotes, meditation and contemplation is one means, but only one means, not all. The second means is bhakti and the third is work. Of course, in integral yoga, we stress more on the karma. Like Gita, karma yoga is stressed more here by Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Again, here in the course, chitta chitta shuddhi, very interesting things. That chitta shuddhi is an essential. Was preached by the yogins in the past means towards realization, and they got by the saintness of the saint. Chitta Shuddhi, it was object of yoga in the by the previous faculties, however, they have gone. And they got it by, saintliness of the saint and quietude of the sage. By two methods, they got one by saintliness of a saint and the quietude of the sage. But transformation of the nature, which we speak to normally, they did not have the idea. Here, transformation is a new word for them. So, by saintliness of the saint and the quietude of the sage. So, two great things we are stressed upon, but the transformation here, what we pursue, we do, we accept, of which we speak, is something more than that. I mean, sagehood or saintlyhood, whatever is there. Transformation is totally beyond all these terms, and this transformation does not come by the contemplation alone. Work is necessary, and yoga in action is indispensable. That is the great thing Sri Aurobindo wanted to speak. That is only bhakti, only meditation. That is not enough. For that, actually, saintliness or sageness, that is not required, because initially it was there. It had got a big value in that previous faculties. But so far, this integral yoga is concerned, here we are stressing more and more on transformation, and this transformation can be done. For that is actually work plays a bigger part. So yoga in action is indispensable. So purpose of the world. So Sri Aurobindo tries to differentiate between the old yoga and this new class. So the purpose of the old yoga was to get away from life to the divine. Get away from the life to the divine. Where we are going to the divine? Okay, we are also going. But one thing was there. It was referred by them by get away from the life, getting away towards the life, that was in between, that was a great cause of concern. So obviously, let us drop karma. Simply they left it, they dropped the karma. But the purpose here, purpose where we are leading, the purpose of new yoga, especially Sri Aurobindo tries to quote upon Sri Aurobindo's integral yoga. So the fullness of what is gained into life, fullness, what is gained into life, that fullness, for that actually yoga by works is indispensable. That is what you must know. Work by means yoga by work. No, no, we stress more and we give much stress upon the work. So that the phrase has been used to yoga by works. It's indispensable. There is no other go. You have to follow it. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes of the Veda and Vedanta are the side of one truth, one side of the one truth. One truth, this is one side. And Tantras with emphasis of the Shakti is another. One is Veda Vedanta, second is actually Tantra. But here we can see both the concept have been stressed upon and followed by Sri Aurobindo. Number one is your Veda Vedanta, that is one side of one truth, and the second is a Tantra. So that we have seen. So that means on Shakti, emphasis on Shakti, that is another. But in this yoga, so far this integral yoga is concerned, so we all sides of truth are taken up. Tantra is one side, and the second part is Veda Vedanta. But here in this integral yoga, both the things, Vedanta and Veda Vedanta and the Tantra, giving and emphasizing on Tantra Shakti, both are taken in equal order, and it has got the full mixing, fulfillment. Not the systematic forms given by formally, but actually their essence are carried in the fullest and highest significance. So both have got their fullest and highest significance. So integral yoga, here in the course, needs to develop its own forms and processes. Own forms and processes, integral yoga, it actually develops. And but the ascent of the consciousness through centers and their tantric knowledge, that Chakra Sadhana and all. So it has been emphasized, it has been also stressed upon. Yeah, you have got the better emphasis. Are there behind the process of the transformation. So this tantric, this chakra, different chakras starting from Kundalini upwards, it plays important role here, to which so much importance is given. So both the concept, Veda Vedanti concept and the Tantric. And here also you can find there was the Shakti, and here also we are relying and being guided by the Divine Mother. Also the truth that nothing can be done except through the force of the Mother. That is what. So you can find the mix here. They were actually part of one tooth, one, and the second is the part of another half. But here we stress upon the integral yoga. Both the concept have been given, and the truth is in here. And with nothing can be done without the force and knowledge of the Divine Mother. Here also, in our yoga, Nirvana is the beginning of the higher truth. Nirvana, it was actually it gained the highest emphasis in Buddhist culture, but here it is only the beginning of the higher truth. Beginning of the higher truth. It is the passage. It is a passage, only a passage, not the goal. It is a passage from ignorance to the higher truth. Only this has got its value. Passage of from ignorance to the higher truth. It is only the ignorance has to be extinguished in order to that the truth may manifest. So it has got not that much preconceived value, as evaluated value, as thought of value, as it was valued in Buddhist philosophy. Mukhya. Here it is a beginning, it is a passage from ignorance towards the higher truth. So the Jain philosophy. After this philosophies, here in the quotes on Jain philosophy. Then Jain philosophy, what really we see is is actually concerned with individual perfection. Here we can find Sri Aurobindo quotes Buddhist and Jain philosophy. In here there was actually mukhya. This most nirvana. It is only beginning of the higher truth. It is a passage to cross from ignorance towards the supreme higher truth. So this ignorance has to be extinguished in order that the truth may manifest. Here in Zen philosophy, so there is something it is concerned with the individual perfection, our effort. This is the one here is there, and the second is also. But our effort is quite different. We want to bring down the supramind, supermind. That is what here individual perfection was in Zen philosophy. There itself it was a nirvana. But here in our integral yoga, it stresses more. Here we have to bring down the supermind as a new faculty, and just as the mind is now a permanent state of consciousness, mind is now the permanent consciousness is humanity, so also want to create a race, supramental race, in which the supermind shall be a permanent state of consciousness. So this is the difference. Sri Aurobindo here quotes on the three philosophies. One is Buddhist philosophy, second Zen philosophy, then our philosophy, integral yogic philosophy. So here in the initially that nirvana, it was a great thing, but here in the quoted, it is only a passage. It is a passage to the higher truth from ignorance. So it is the only one side, and ignorance must be extinguished. Second, in Jain philosophy, we found the concern with the individual perfection, but so far this integral yoga is concerned, it is totally different. Means bringing the supermind into the lower hemisphere, so that now you can gain the permanent state of consciousness humanity, and here you can create a supramental race in which the supermind shall be the permanent state of consciousness. That is the whole volume and whole taste of our actually our object of our sadhana. Here we are going next step, one step forward. So Sri Aurobindo quotes, the old yoga demanded a complete renunciation, extending to the giving up of the worldly life itself. You have to give it. You have to live what? Not your bad pictures, bad characteristics, but actually life you have to give up. Karjam basadayat sariram papadayat. But this yoga is instead a new and a transformed life. It did not stressed upon the thinking the world, neglecting the life, and foregoing the what the old things what are there. It had to discard all these things, renounce all these things. But Sri Aurobindo's integral yoga, it stresses upon the transformation. It is instead of a new and a transformed state, but it insists inexorably to the on a complete throwing away of the desire and attachment. It must go. They don't have the place. Desire and attachment must go, and the mind and the life and the body. In the mind and the life and body, wherever there are two things are there, attachment and desire, they must be perished. Its aim is to refound life in the truth of the spirit. The aim is to refound life in the truth of the spirit, and for that purpose to transfer the roots of all we are, and do from the mind and life and the body to a greater consciousness above the mind. We have to go to a greater consciousness above mind and above the mind. All must be given up, and the supreme master of the yoga, that whatever you have, you possess, you think, what you have, everything must be given to the supreme master of the yoga, supreme master of the yoga. So the power that works in this yoga is of the through going character and tolerate in the end. Nothing great and small, nothing is great and small, magnanimous and meal, big or small. That is the obstacle to the truth and its realization. Don't take anything that is great, this is less, so it is big, that is small. This idea must not be there. So this character and the tolerance must be there with the sadhaka. And Sri Aurobindo quotes, the meditation, the tradition of the past are very great in their own place in the past. whatever was there, because there itself it was suitable for that purpose, for that time, and that time is over. It was Matsya Avatar, that was, we talked of the Matsya Avatar, Matsya, that fishing time only, water, it was there, we talked of this. But here we are in the supermind, so things will change. So I don't see why we should be merely repeat them and not go further. No chance. In the spiritual development of the consciousness upon the earth, the great past ought to be followed by the great future. Thank you.